Thanks for joining the Real Mom Gang podcast, where 4 new moms bonded over their obsession with baby classes and keeping it real. Here's your hosts, Amanda, Chantel, Jenna, and Lauren. Hi, girls. How was your week?
It's been pretty crazy. I think Callie's teething, so we've had some rough nights.
Yeah, it's Austin too.
I think all the babies are teething. They're in like a group of like rebelling against sleep.
How many teeth does Chloe have now?
She has her top 2 and her bottom 2, and then I think 3 more coming. So it's like,
Oh my gosh.
yikes, child.
Holy, impressive.
But one thing that's good with her is she just gets very sleepy. She has extra long naps. Once she goes down,
That's amazing.
she'll have like a good nap. But
How did you manage that?
Well, I
the
find
rest of the time is getting her down is not easy.
I find with Austin, like, all of a sudden he'll have a really good sleep or a really good nap, and then once he wakes up from it, it's almost like the tooth is popped through.
Yeah.
And then he just loses it as it gets more popped through. How many teeth does Preston have now?
He has his 4 bottom, and then he has 3 that are out on the top, and he's getting another one. So he's almost at 8 teeth for 8 months old, 8 teeth.
Wow.
8 months, 8 teeth. Yeah. He's getting a tooth each month.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Which is a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot, but you know what? He loves to eat, so it goes hand
Steak
in
dinner's
hand.
coming up soon.
Yeah, it is. Really
We're
so.
just starting the process. We don't even
Yeah,
have
Callie
those.
doesn't have any teeth yet.
Number 1.
No.
No teeth yet?
No teeth, but I'm sure they're coming. Otherwise, she's just playing me.
Yeah.
Let's see what Mom does if I just scream in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Austin's working on 3 and 4, but they're his eye teeth. He didn't get the middle one, so he's looking like a little bit of a vampire. And he screeches a lot, so we call him our vampire dinosaur baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Too bad it's not around Halloween. And
I know.
Yeah,
He's
really
a
could be
little
an
Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like that.
Callie, would you like a cookie? Callie just saw the cookies and she's losing her mind. Just like her mom when she sees cookies.
Yeah.
Or muffins.
The same thing.
So we thought it'd be a good time to talk about travel with our babies. Austin and I just got back from a week in Mexico, and all of us have done road trips or other flights or gone back home to visit family, and some of us have more trips coming up. So why don't we start with Amanda? How was your trip to Montreal?
Well, we went to Montreal. We flew to Montreal. We flew to Ontario first to go visit my husband's family and stayed there for a week. And then from there, flew to Montreal. So he's been on quite a few flights. When I brought him, he was, I believe, 3 months old. I was super nervous. I was like, oh my God, am I going to be one of that person on the flight that their baby screams and everybody's looking at you? By the way, before I had a baby, I'd always be the one getting on the plane and looking at the baby and be like, oh shit. Am I going to have to hear this kid scream the whole time? So it's a total different situation when you're now the mom and you feel like people are looking at you being like,
judging. And,
yeah. So we get on our first flight and the woman gets on and I saw her like give this look to Preston and I was like, you bitch.
Yeah.
But he ended up sleeping the whole flight. They told us when we took off that he had to be in the like burping position for taking off and landing, which is what I did. He's a formula-fed baby, so I packed like a crazy amount of formula in my bag. It was the ready to serve, so it was super easy just to pour it in his bottle. By the way, if your baby is under 2 years old, you can bring as much formula or liquids as you need for the baby. So I took advantage of that. So yeah, anytime he'd wake up from his nap, I just shove a bottle in his mouth. And honestly, he didn't make a peep for like the whole 4-hour flight. He was
amazing.
So good. And then
it's the quietest Preston's ever been.
It's the quietest he's ever been. And he's then, like, oh, Mom keeps giving me a bottle. I know.
Maybe I just have to be quiet.
And I remember when we landed, like, the woman, like, kind of looked over and smiled at Preston. And I was like, I saw that face you made when we first got on.
Yeah.
Do you see how good he was?
We'll be friends
I
now.
have a little angel.
Yeah, exactly. And the flight attendants are always so awesome with the babies.
Yeah.
Anything you need. And then when I was leaving Ontario, taking my flight to Montreal, I was by myself. My husband had to go back to work, so I was flying alone with him. So it was so cute. The woman beside me was like, if you need to like pass him over and while you nap, you can just, I can hold him while you nap. It was a 45-minute flight.
And it's not like, I mean, you could because they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not
Exactly.
unless she parachutes out.
Yeah.
She's
With
like,
the face.
We were at the exit aisle, actually, like the exit door. But and then she was like, if you need to nurse, like it's okay. And I'm like, thanks. Like, really nice of you. If I was nursing, I wouldn't care what you thought anyways.
Yeah, but thanks for saying it's okay.
Thanks for giving me the permission. But yeah, everybody's so nice. And with the stroller and the car seat, you could just check it at the gate before you get on the plane. So I just pushed him around in the stroller and the car seat in the airport. I also brought his carrier, which I thought was good for part of the time. But yeah, you can check on that and your playpen if you want. And then obviously your luggage is 1 luggage per person, but yeah, and your diaper bag does not count as a carry-on as well. So
The babies get their own suitcase, right?
no,
No?
No, because
Well-
unless you bought a seat for them.
Yeah, they don't get a suitcase,
Oh,
but they do get but you can carry it on, right? So, what?
Callie just threw her cookie to Gizmo.
Oh!
She's like, here,
She's sharing. Yeah. Here, eat this cardboard cookie. Yeah, like, so with Austin, when we just went to Mexico, we probably overpacked, but I didn't know what to expect. Like, we'd been to Victoria twice, so he had already been on 4 flights, but they were short. And we were going to family, right? So, you know, it's a lot more comfortable. So in Mexico, we were going to an all-inclusive. I knew that they had cribs, but I still wanted to bring our own pack and play just for like sanitary reasons. Like, you never know. I'm sure things get cleaned, but maybe they don't get missed, you know. I don't know. I was probably over paranoid.
He's used to that already.
He's used to
More
it. It smelled
familiar
like,
for him.
you know, his home and stuff like that. So we brought his pack and play, which we were able to check for free. Then we also brought his stroller combo or whatever. Brought it to the gate and checked it there. And I also did bring his carrier because he's not a huge fan of being in his stroller for a long time. So he did spend a lot of time in the carrier. And I was even like to Jordan, maybe next time we will check the bag or check the stroller with the regular bag so we don't have to push around a stroller if he just wants to be in the carrier. But then Jordan pointed out, like, where would we put our bags? Because we actually put all of our carry-on bags and like the camera bag and his diaper bag all on the stroller, and it was like super
or you
convenient
can put
to
your
push
coffees
around.
in the
Coffees in there,
holders.
yeah, because with a baby you can never have too many hands.
Yeah.
So that worked out really good. One thing I will say is that when you check the stroller at the gate, they wait till everybody's off the plane to bring out all the strollers. So even though we were near the front of the plane, we had to wait until everybody was off and then all the strollers came out. And so then we ended up at the back of like the immigration line and stuff like that.
That
Yeah.
didn't happen with
It
me.
might have been the type of plane or like where they have to put them. Because that didn't happen in Victoria either. They just grabbed it and put it right at the door. It was there when we came off. So maybe it's an international thing or like the size of plane or something.
Yeah.
We also, even though we were going to an all-inclusive and he's eating pretty much what we eat at this point, I brought a ton of purees. I did not want to have a sick baby in another country. So
are you able to bring those on the plane, like on your carry-on?
you would be able to, yeah. We checked ours, I think. We checked ours. I took a couple of them in his bag or whatever, but you can definitely take it in the carry-on with the baby. And he did still have some like fruit and rice and crepes. Smoothies and stuff like that at the resort, but mostly I just gave him his own food because I knew his body was used to it.
I can't even handle the resort food. Never mind a baby.
That's the last thing you want too, is spending
Oh my god.
an entire week in an all-inclusive with a sick baby.
Yeah.
That would be,
We brought a ton of sunscreen. And there's some really good ones on the market. Maybe we can even make a post of the ones that we brought, just because I wasn't sure how, because sometimes when you get organic ones and things like that they don't actually work, but at least you didn't put chemicals on your baby. But this one actually really worked really well. He didn't get any kind of redness or anything like that, and it didn't, with his sensitive skin, he didn't get any reactions or anything like that. Got a cookie stuck to your arm. What else was like something good that we bring lots of snacks. Like right now he's young, so he's pretty much just eating the mum crackers and the little puff things that dissolve in their mouths. But I brought a ton, and we went through them all because it's a great distraction tactic. And we ended up getting stuck in the airport for 2 days pretty much, so it really came in handy that way. And lots of clothes. Pack some in the carry-on as well, or like in their diaper bag. For yourself too.
Actually,
Overpack the diaper bag.
When I was coming home from Montreal, I was holding Preston, and he decided to take a really big poop. And I was waiting in line to use the bathroom to change his diaper, and the poop actually got on me. Because it was like a watery poop, because he was 3 months old. And I had extra clothes for him and tons of diapers, but I didn't have an extra shirt because I'm thinking, well, what's going to happen?
Poop around.
Yeah, so I pretty much wiped it down, but like pack clothes for yourself.
Yeah.
As much as the babies need it, if they throw up on you, motion sickness, whatever, you're going to need to change too.
Especially if you do end up delayed or something like that too, like you might just want a fresh pair of clothes, like after you have a baby climbing all over you and their sticky hands.
in the airport.
We brought a ton of clothes that Austin never ended up wearing. We brought way too many diapers, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, right? Like, it depends, maybe you're somewhere that's close to a Walmart or a Costco or something and you can do some shopping. But I know if you're at a remote resort, the gift shop usually sells things, but at like a premium. So you don't want to have to buy things, or maybe they don't fit properly.
Can your carry-on be a suitcase?
It's my carry-on. Yeah. Well, we brought 2 full-size suitcases for Jordan and I, and like some of Austin's stuff that we checked and had to pay for the bags or whatever because they weren't. They weren't. They don't include them anymore. And then we brought a carry-on size suitcase for Austin. We brought my carry-on like purse, and it's was a big tote style purse. So we had all of like our headphones, our snacks, sunglasses, things like that in there. Plus we brought his diaper bag, which was like packed. Plus Jordan's camera gear. So you're allowed a carry-on and a personal item per person. With the babies, you're only, I think, allowed the diaper bag. So you can each bring a small carry-on suitcase, and also like a purse or a laptop or whatever it is that you're.
But I would also say, like, going on vacation, I did like the carry-on with all Preston's clothes in it and stuff, and then the diaper bag I did with all his formula and his diapers and stuff. And going on vacation, me, Josh were together, so it was fine. But when you're traveling alone, when I had to travel back to Montreal, having the stroller, like the diaper bag, the carry-on, like it's a lot. So try to condense.
Yeah, especially depending on who you're traveling with. Like if you have extra hands, bring extra stuff. But if you're
by yourself and you gotta carry your baby and then take out overhead.
Oh my gosh,
bags,
I can't even imagine.
A lot.
Yeah.
So try to condense
be mindful of that.
into something you could actually check on because.
Yeah, and sometimes it's worth paying the $30 bag fee or whatever and just chuck a big suitcase with it all in it. Because carrying that around, especially the bigger airports, is like, or if you have a connector. Or,
definitely.
But stocking the diaper bag full is good, because when we went to Victoria, same thing. Chloe, we're waiting in the airport, massive poop everywhere.
Oh god.
Changed her. It was not even worthwhile trying to keep the clothes, so they went straight in the garbage. She'd already spit up on her previous outfit, so to have, I think we had 4 outfits in the backpack, and we went through all of them. Because it was like, okay, that's spit up. That one's covered in poop. It's going in the garbage.
And you don't want to keep one that has poop and what are you gonna do? Tie it up in a doggy bag, and then once you get to your destination, you're like, hey, about this.
Well, I actually did that. I can't remember what day it was. we got dressed for dinner, and then went to the like lobby lounge bar or whatever to have a drink before dinner. And then I picked him up out of the stroller, and there was shit everywhere, all over his little like dress shorts, and then all over my arm. And then it dripped out of the diaper like a bird shit onto my bare foot that was in a sandal. So Jordan, I was like, Jordan, and he's like, what? You want me to hold him? I was like, no, look, there's shit everywhere. So him and the bartender scrambling to find like a paper towel because they don't really have that around.
Yeah.
And then we still wanted to make our dinner reservation, so we like ran back to the room as fast as we could, washed up my foot, sanitized it, changed him. But then I had this poopy shorts and onesie. So I like kind of rinsed it, and then I put it in the bag, and then I washed it when I got home, but it didn't come out.
You opened that bag.
It didn't smell too bad because I did rinse it, but it's still like it washed it and it didn't come out. So I should have just thrown it out.
Like I've just done the same day, kind of like changed her at like someone's house and like put it in a bag, and you open that up, or if you accidentally forget it, and your entire bag smells like so bad. At that point, it is kind of just worth it
just chuck it.
Yeah.
Cut it. It's not worth it. And just cut your losses.
for sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say one thing to keep in mind is if you are going somewhere that's a warmer destination and there's going to be swimming involved, you'll probably need like half the amount of regular diapers. I brought the same amount of regular diapers plus swim diapers, and brought home like half of the regular diapers I brought.
Majority
because he was in the swim diaper.
Like we haven't traveled by plane yet with Callie, but we are leaving at the middle of February 15th to be exact.
Ooh.
Find me. We're going to Hawaii for a couple of weeks, and so that will be our first flight, and that's going to be 6 hours, so it should be fun.
Kicking it off with a big one.
Yeah, and I don't just have this quiet, nice little baby either, so I'm sure half of it she'll probably scream. So I can imagine people's faces when we walk in and she's already crying.
Yeah.
But hopefully she'll be okay.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, in what I learned on one of the plane rides with Austin was, so on takeoff and landing, I actually didn't listen to them and keep him in that upright position. I breastfed him, or you can also bottle feed them, because some of them aren't bothered at all, but if they are, the pressure might hurt their ears, and the feeding makes their jaw, kind of like when you yawn, it makes that, or if we chew gum to help our ears, the feeding will help that.
Another thing is a soother too.
Yeah, a soother.
You can give them a soother, and
just anything that makes them suck.
Yeah.
And then he fell asleep right away, but on the way back, he was on one of our Victoria trips. He ate, and I didn't really even think about the timing of it. I probably could have waited a little bit, because when we were landing, he wasn't hungry and he refused to go on the boob, and he was crying because his ears were bugging him. But he didn't know, like, oh well, that's why she's doing this. It's just gonna help me. He just thought like, no, bitch, I'm not hungry.
Stop shoving your food.
I don't want it right now.
First time he'll ever say that.
Yeah. So yeah, think about your timing of like, also if you're waiting in the airport and they're tired, try to hold them off so that you can feed them, and then they'll fall right asleep on the way up. And then he slept for 3 hours the one time, and then 4 hours the other one straight. There's something about that lull of the plane engine. So obviously, I mean, you don't want to make them starve or like get way overtired, but if you can kind of be mindful of the timing, it really will make a big difference.
Yeah. Timing with babies.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend Catherine, who's actually a flight attendant with WestJet, when we did our post saying that we were doing our podcast about traveling with a baby, she reached out and just gave me some good pointers. Being a travel agent, being a flight attendant, you see it all. So she gave me some good pointers. Some of them we've already touched on, but I'll just tell you guys the ones that she has told me. Some good stuff. So be organized, which we've touched on. You don't want to bring too much stuff. It gets pretty overwhelming. Bring clothes for you and the baby. Try not to overpack with toys and stuff, but bring stuff that are age appropriate. Bring earphones if they're going to watch a movie. And if the entertainment system is down, you want to make sure you have a backup. She said like parents have gotten super upset once the entertainment system is down.
Well, and most planes actually don't have entertainment systems anymore. They have the apps on your phone or whatever. So
So if there's something that's down, like bring a coloring book or bring a book or bring stuff that they can do while they're seated in the seat. Bring as many liquids for babies under 2. They do not serve milk on the flights, so keep that in mind. So you're not able to give your baby milk when you're on the flight. So
bring all your own stuff.
Bring all your own stuff. Extra diapers, obviously. Snacks, because like Jenna said, it's something that keeps them entertained if your flight's delayed for whatever
if they're
reason.
food motivated like our babies.
If you're delayed, right? That's I think a big one.
The whole time keep stuff in their
Yeah.
If you're delayed and then you're finally on the plane and then you run out of snacks, and your child's screaming and they can't have whatever,
and they can't have a lot of the snacks that
are
would be offered to them, right? It's not going to eat a pretzel. Breastfeeding pillow, she said, was really important too, to keep them really comfy.
That was life.
Yeah.
I didn't bring it on, I think, one of our flights, but this time I did, and he just, like, I think that's why he slept so well.
Just like a little bed.
Yeah. And you can put it, if you put the tray down, you can put the pillow on top of that, and then he kind of, like, sat on it, kind of, because it was, like, and my legs were right there, too, but, like, it kind of makes this platform in front of you to give some more room if you're sharing a seat.
Now, was that considered like a carry-on item?
No. That's just you're a mom and you're breastfeeding. You can do anything you want to do, because otherwise they'll get don't fuck with moms. Yeah.
And speaking of the tray, so my girlfriend told me, make sure you bring wipes and wipe down that thing, because she said they never clean
the trays, the seats, the walls,
seatbelts.
Everything.
Walls, nothing ever gets cleaned. She's never seen a seat cleaned in her life. And I was like,
the amount of people you think that go through
boogers,
every day.
coughing, saliva, who knows what else.
I'm going to start cleaning the seat.
I've always done it with just regular wipes, but this trip I brought like the Clorox bleach wipes, even though I'm not like a fan of using stuff like that. This time I was like, no.
And not getting sick.
Yeah, and even at the resort, I still I would watch them wipe down the high chair, and then I would do it again, and they must have thought, like, this lady's a bitch. I just cleaned that, but I wasn't taking any chances, and I wasn't going to worry about hurting anybody's feeling for my baby's safety, because that hand, foot, mouth disease is really contagious, and it's typical for like traveling for babies to get that. So not typical for them to get that, but that it spreads very easily that way. Like if there is an outbreak, and then you know.
And honestly, something as simple as wiping down the high chair, if that saves you from having a terrible trip because something. Exactly. They caught something. Yeah. Like it's pretty easy. Yeah.
And I would say maybe not maybe for our age babies, but definitely older kids. If you're bringing toys or something, maybe bring them something they've never seen. Oh, like keep something like I don't think he noticed, but I took one of his books that he got for Christmas that he hadn't read yet and put it and brought that. Mm-hmm. But he was just like, it's a book. Let's see
something new, or like a new coloring book, or like
something new. Yeah.
And not toys that are super loud.
Yeah. Oh, God.
We sat one flight with like a kid next to us who had this thing that like made noise and lights, and to listen to that for hours on end was
even if I hear her
voice, my God.
There was a kid.
Turn the volume off.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a kid behind us on the flight. There, she was old, like probably 3 or 4 or something, and she had it was Play-Doh, and it was like a hairdresser Play-Doh. So she could put the Play-Doh, I think, in the head, and then you turn this crank, and then the hair grows.
Who would bring Play-Doh
on a plane?
This just seems
insane. I could just see the flight attendants cringing. It's okay. But then she got to cut it.
Don't get clean.
So she grew the hair by doing this crank that would like do this big like clacking noise at the end once it was fully grown. And then she had a little play razor that went as she would cut it. And he was sleeping, and every time like it would do that clack and then that he'd be like, and I should have said something, but it was just like, seriously? And she was kicking the seat and like, so like be respectful. Be respectful. Like I know they're kids, but be respectful of the other people around you and make sure your kids use their manners.
Like,
yeah.
You know what? do you want to see what that feels like? And I tell the people next, like behind them,
Yeah.
kick her seat.
Yeah, exactly. But they might think it's a
No.
game.
Everyone's kicking.
I did read some travel blogs before we went too of people that like travel a lot with babies, and this is a little conflicting because some people are like, oh, well, entertain them by walking up and down the aisles. But this lady's like, no, from day one, I told her, like, the only reason you get out of your seat is to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're in your seat because that just creates a monster, right? Then they only want to be up and walking around. And then when you don't let them because the
When they
seatbelt
can't.
sign's on or something like
or
that.
like they're constantly going through with the cart.
Yeah.
And there's always people getting up to go to the bathroom, and then you have to like go in a seat so somebody else can pass. Like that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Times when they can't, they're gonna throw it. To you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's one thing, like, you know, there was a baby that was really upset on one of our planes, and so the mom was up and, like, bouncing, and that's one thing,
Sometimes
but not
you have
just
to.
for entertainment, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Another thing that I'd have to say is the woman behind me had a baby, and the baby was like crying a lot, but I could tell that she was really stressed out, and she was like, okay, that's enough. And the more that she was like getting overwhelmed and stressed, the more the baby was crying. And I felt like just going, like, if I didn't have Preston in my arms and I was by myself on that flight, I would have been like, do you want me to try to hold her for a bit? Like, just try not, babies will cry. It's normal.
Have
And
some
if you
compassion.
Have some compassion for the people
And
who are on the flight.
Offer a
help.
hand, even if they don't take it.
Yeah.
Like on our flight, that one baby was really upset, and so I had Austin sleeping on me, so Jordan got up and was like, hey, like, do you guys need anything? Like, we still have, because we got delayed a whole bunch, and I don't know how they planned, so like we've got lots of snacks, we've got, you know, a whole pharmacy of different things, and they didn't need anything, but they really, like, you could tell that they really appreciated knowing that we weren't annoyed and that someone was there that cared.
Yeah. And the more the babies feel that stress, the more they're gonna they stress out.
Yeah.
So I know it's
They're
stressful.
probably like, I'm in a new environment, have no idea what's happening. We're up in the air.
And you don't know how their ears
So
are.
their ears, yeah.
And they're stuck lying down on you for, 4, 5, 6 hours at a time. It's normal. They're gonna fuss a bit. So try not to get like worked up about it, like yourself as a mother. Right?
Yeah. We've talked a lot about flying, but I know we've also all done a little bit of road trips, especially in the summer, to like the lake and things like that. Any advice for people doing road trips with babies?
If you're gonna do it when they're brand new. Then they're gonna sleep the entire time. But
Or our biggest thing was just plan your travel time around their naps. So like we would wait, we'd feed her, and then as soon as she was in her car seat, it was nap time, and then you just get on the road and you go.
Yeah.
So again, like just like with the flights, kind of plan accordingly if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plan for extra stops.
Yeah.
So don't give yourself exactly the amount of time you need to get somewhere.
for sure.
Because then you're going to panic, and then they're going to panic, and then...
you're still gonna have to stop every hour or so.
Yeah, depending
Give
on
them a
the...
change,
Yeah,
give them a
yeah.
feed.
Yeah.
Or you could be like me and Jenna and lean over the baby.
Yeah, don't do that. We don't recommend that.
recommend
But hey, if you need to, do what you got to do.
Need. Yeah, it's true. And you're gonna have to stop. Sometimes, like even just going to BC for 3 hours, we'd have to stop like 3 times. If she's screaming, you just have to pull over and get outside for a while.
When we were out to BC, we'd pull over pretty much every hour and then stay somewhere for an hour parked.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, because we'd change, we'd feed. Then she'd usually fall asleep, and I'd let her like nap for a bit, and
Right.
then we'd like get going, or we'd even like get some fresh air and like get out of the car and like walk around a little
Stretch
bit.
your own legs.
Take the dogs out too, and
Preston was good when we went to Vancouver. He likes to sleep in the car, so we stopped every 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And gave him a feed and took him out, changed his diaper. So if you have a baby who enjoys to sleep in the car, do it now, because once they become toddlers, they're probably not going to want to sleep. They're going to want to like...
And once you
And
get them
do
out
that.
of their car on
Yeah.
that break, they're not going to just want to come back in.
Yeah.
They know that they're going to be sitting
Strapped
for
in
a
again.
long time.
Yeah. And then again, the whole thing, like lots of snacks, lots of fluids, lots
Toys
of
back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Books,
If you
whatever.
can, like as they get a bit older, like put a little iPad with
Oh,
a
yeah,
show,
like
cartoons,
Yeah.
something going on.
Yeah.
Or if you have siblings, they can keep each other busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Games they can play together and then get in fights with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
My sister and I remember like the whole road trip, kind kind of routine. We'd get in, we'd be excited, we'd probably play with a new game together, we'd sing songs, we'd play I Spy, and then we'd fight, and then we'd sleep.
Yeah.
See, I remember as a kid, like, my dad was the type of dad, like, once we're in the car, we do not stop.
Oh.
And so, like, we had the car potty. So, like, if you
What?
had
Car potty?
you guys didn't have a
No.
like a plastic potty that sits in your car.
No.
Do you pee in the car?
Yeah, you pee in the car while your parents are driving.
Why you're not in your seatbelt or anything?
There must be so many accidents.
That's insane.
And I'm not talking about car accidents.
You hit a bump and then
There's
flyers you.
4 girls in my family. We're driving to Edmonton. One piece, the bowl's almost full, but we're not pulling over to like dump it out. So like you go to pee, you fill it to the top, it's spilling out the sides.
That is I've never heard of that before. No, it's dangerous. It's not a thing.
Weren't you the one who said
I survived.
Weren't you the one who said you used to shit out the window or something too?
No.
Oh God.
Somebody told me they used to poop out the window. It wasn't you. Oh, okay.
Chanel's like, you've never heard of car potties? No, they're not a thing.
No, I'll show you.
People are gonna be like Amazoning car
Yeah, because it would be illegal, I would think.
Oh, there's like, we had this, I remember it.
I've had little potties like that on a
It was
boat.
a great little potty shaped as a car, and you'd like sit on it like a plastic potty.
I'm
and,
Googling.
like,
Google it.
Right
Yeah,
now.
Oh, I can't believe
We
you
did
wouldn't
not
stop.
No, we never stopped. You just
Oh my God. So somebody filled it up already. You were holding the rest of the
yeah,
time.
and then it's just like game
Oh,
over. Or
great.
you try to
Oh
go
my
like
Her parents are like, Google Maps says it's gonna take us 3 hours and 45 minutes to get there. We're getting there in 3 hours.
yeah,
and 45
that's
minutes.
exactly how it was. It was like
What about if your parents had to pee?
they just
They
I
used the
just
car
did it.
potty
they
too.
didn't have little children bladders. They
Yeah, that's
just,
true.
like, put it in.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, we didn't pull over for.
Oh my gosh,
anything.
I've never.
Okay,
heard of
if I Google it, it's literally like potties that are shaped as a car.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
And
not
you keep
a
them in
potty
your
meant
No.
Yes, you do. I would never use it.
oh, so you know what I think it is? It's a car potty so that you can pull over on the side of the road and
And you're
pull it
taking
outside and you take a potty. But in no way are they selling things to go pee
But, like,
while you're
where would
driving.
you put it though? I don't.
Did
get
you have a minivan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
just
yeah.
goes under the seat
Right.
and it has like a cover and then you
Yeah.
pull off the cover. I'm sure you are supposed to pull over
Yeah.
and like sit on the potty
Yeah.
and go and dump it
I think
out.
that's what it's for.
But we didn't stop.
No.
Like you just
Does your
I
dad
think you're
still do this?
Oh my god, it's actually a thing.
But again, they're stopped. They're not driving. It's
Well, how do you know?
Well,
How do you know?
I don't know. You can just tell. But there's no way.
It's a little girl sitting on a potty, looking out the window in the trunk of her van.
Maybe we need to
What I'm
post.
more interested in is who's pooping out windows.
Yeah, where's that story from? If anybody told Amanda a story about pooping out a window, please comment on our social media.
Yeah, I swear to God, it was you, Chantal.
I mean, it doesn't sound too crazy after the car
I know.
potty story.
Maybe this is where you're getting this from. Like one time I was with my sister and we pulled over for her to pee because she has this like littlest like child bladder ever. Like she cannot make it more than an hour. So we were driving to Edmonton like we usually do. And she's like, I have to go. So we pulled over. And the next thing we know, a cop pulls right up behind us to like pull over and that turn off too.
Oh.
And I was like, well, shit, now you can't just go pee in public because you can't just go and, like, stand by the car and start peeing because that's peeing, like,
Public.
Yeah.
decency. But
Yeah.
she's like, I have to go, like, right now. So we open both car doors and, like, she is peeing. And then all of a sudden she
Was
just
she out of
starts
the car?
pooping.
Oh.
And I'm like, what are you doing? But, like, the way she was
Sorry, was she in the car still? Or
half in the car, so she was, like,
There you go. There you go.
she was bent on the side of the door and like
Oh,
trying
God.
to pee, but she peed up my door because the way she was bent, and I just got this brand new car, and she like peed into the
Okay, so
seat
she's
of the
not a
door,
child.
like
At this
peed
point.
up the car, and then she just starts pooping, and I'm like, don't poop, stop pooping, you're pooping on my new car. I like made her, we like stopped station after I made her get we should have just stopped at the gas station.
Right.
So I made her get Lysol wipes to clean her own mess.
Oh my god.
You just no, and this is where you got it from because I was so mad at her for doing that. I was like, next time you get a new car, I'm gonna shit on your seat.
There you go. I knew I got it from her.
Chanel's like, no, that story's not mine. Oh, wait a second. It is.
The pooping out the window is I don't know how you would manage that. Pull down your pants.
Stick your whole ass out.
Stick your ass out. And there's no stopping. You just
you someone drive by like that.
You just see turds flying in the wind.
Oh my god. I just...
Sorry, guys.
This is amazing. So, tip of the day is if your family members need to go to the bathroom, just find a safe restroom or rest area, pull over, get out of the car.
A good travel tip is to plan out your route. So figure out where those good pullover places are.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or if you do have a toddler, figure out where there's an outdoor playground for a little stretch. Or sometimes they have those little information centers where they have a place that they can go inside. There's flushable washrooms. There's whatever you need. Plan out your trip so you know where you can stop.
Because you don't.
And try your best to make it to those stops.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be pulled over on a busy highway with all these semi trucks.
Yeah. Or you pass a gas station and you're like, we'll get the next one, and then it turns out it's not forever.
Yeah, and you can't hold it.
Yeah, and you gotta poop out the window.
You poop out the window. So planning ahead definitely is the way to go, and yeah, you can never be more too prepared. Just make sure that you have everything and go through your list once or twice and make sure that okay, we're gonna be set.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Well, on that note, I don't think we can talk about much more after
if
that.
If any of you have pooped out the window,
if your parents had a toilet in the van for you, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, and I want to know if they pulled over or not.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram at The Real Mom Gang. Also on Facebook, The Real Mom Gang. We would welcome any comments you guys have about our podcast, topics you'd like to hear, ask us anything. We will be posting something on our social media for you to ask those things. You can also private message us. And we hope you found this informative. Happy traveling.
Bye.
Mom Gang out.